Hi guys, happy Friday. I hope everyone's looking forward to the weekend. My name is Rohan, and I am founder and CEO of OddsMate, and we're building the AI agent layer for prediction markets. Before I start, got a QR code up on the screen. I have a question for the room. How much money did retail lose in prediction markets last year? Scan that, text your name, and how much money you think retail investors lost last year in prediction markets. And whoever gets closest to the answer, we got a few of these hoodies we're giving out, so hey, you might get one. Sorry? Anyway, so in terms of retail losses in prediction markets, whatever number you've got in your head before you message your answer, that number's projected to 10x in the next 3 years. And you might be thinking, oh, like it's retail, right? It's not because they're getting any worse or there's an inherent issue with retail, but it's because the way prediction markets are structured is inherently stacked against retail in a way that no other asset class is. You think about sort of equities, crypto, they simply don't work in the same way. There's a few reasons for that. Now, the first thing is speed and the dramatic price swings. You know, someone's position in an events contract can halve on one news headline. Simply doesn't work the same way in other asset classes. And the second thing is the binary nature of prediction markets. You know, it's either going to resolve to 0 or 1. Is something that retail, again, simply doesn't have the risk intuition for. There's kind of two aspects to retail. The first one is those who come from trading stocks and crypto. And again, those aren't binary. They don't have the risk intuition for that. And the other side is those who come from gambling, from sports betting. And they're not used to the idea of trading their positions. They're just betting. Now, as a result, you're getting a gap between sort of retail institutions and pro traders that's not just present, but accelerating at a rapid rate. That's emphasized a lot by kind of the insider risk too, which again, retail is simply not aware of. But the clearest evidence of this gap is the rise of what I call pro retail. Not institutions, but professional individual traders who are leveraging the power of AI agents to find an edge. Now, the best story that I can really tell about this is one of my good friends on X. You might have, honestly, if you're on X, you might have seen it. He built an entire autonomous AI trading agent. He used SAM3, the AI image segmentation model from Meta. He used Claude Code and set up an agent that watches football games, NBA games, and finds edges, gets his own proprietary data feed from his AI agents, finds edges and autonomously trades on it 24/7 whenever there's a game on. And he's made over 6 figures doing that. Now, in terms of, now he's not an outlier. He's not just, you know, one super smart guy. How easy it is to access these models means there's hundreds and thousands of these kinds of traders out there making serious money and turning retail into pro retail. There's a whole directory online of autonomous trading agents that you can deploy and start finding edges, start finding arbitrage, you name it. But the thing is, this is proof that AI agents are working in prediction markets right now. But the problem is that even though they've shown us what the end game looks like, it's simply not accessible. Not everyone's going to pull up a GitHub repo, fork, deploy it on their own, and that's leaving a substantial section of retail behind, namely normal gamblers, people who are, you know, not unlike myself, you know, come from a betting background, who are being left behind and don't know how to use these tools. The playbook exists, it's just not accessible. And that's what we're building at OddsMate. We're democratizing access to these tools and these AI agents that, you know, people are there making money doing, and we're democratizing access for that. So just a little bit about our company before I move on. OddsMate is an AI agent that trades for you and lives in your iMessage. So you message your agent, it learns what kinds of trades you like, what kinds of markets you like to trade on. It'll ping you when there's, a suspected insider, a whale trading on your market, or if there's some breaking news. And all you need to do is say, yes, execute my trade, text it, it goes, executes it for you on Polymarket, and soon other platforms too, like Kalshi, once we build that out. Now, I want to just zoom out a little bit before I proceed, because we're not just building this product because it's nice. It's because on a larger scale, as we progress and the AI revolution continues, we're getting to a stage where more and more transactions are being done by AI agents, and you're having a whole generation, younger than me, who are 16, 17, even younger, who are getting older, where using AI platforms, AI agents is not just a nice thing, but it's what they're used to. It's their norm. And as we progress, they're going to be using AI agents to not just trade on markets, but to buy stuff online, for retail, commerce, you name it. And as a result, it's essential that in markets, in finance, we're building these rails to allow people to trade using AI agents. If you think about it, I don't think anyone, even my age or younger, is even using dashboards or terminals in terms of retail traders. It's all Claude, ChatGPT, and that's where the big gap is coming in retail trading. But as a result, we don't have enough platforms designed for that. We have a lot of markets that don't have the right rails for trading using AI agents, and that's something that we're fixing. So we're building our own proprietary technology using agent wallets, using stablecoin wallets, where an agent can, a user can simply Apple Pay deposits into their agent wallet, and it can go execute on whatever prediction markets platform you want to trade on. And it's really as simple as that. And yeah, I guess as we continue building in this age of AI, it's getting more and more important that we build for the future generations and for agents. The biggest consumer in a few years is going to be agents. Fortunately or unfortunately, that's just the way things are going. And that's kind of how we're trying to position ourselves. And now just to bring it back to the question I said at the beginning, how much retail is losing right now? I think 2025, we had around 50 to 60 billion of trading volume on prediction markets, and retail lost almost 2 billion of that. So that's 1.75 billion was just retail losses at the hands of institution and pro traders, which is a significant amount. And that's projected to pass 15 billion by 2030. So it's more and more essential that we build for retail, we build for people like myself who are being left behind, so that number doesn't reach 15 billion. Maybe we can keep that a little bit lower. Thank you. Any questions?
Test. Yeah, I want to hear more about the 1.75 billion number. My calculation was based just on fees under the assumption that most trades on prediction markets in 2025, that retail was on both sides of the trade, and that the adoption from institutions and from the pros and the sharks was a small percentage. It's a growing percentage. It's growing a lot in 2026. But as of right now, it is still mostly retail on both sides. So the losses are just fees, right? Can you say a little bit more about that number?